They say winning ain't everything. Well, we don't have them type conversations over here, man. Had that conversation with the losers. We trying to win at everything we do. Even in the loss, we don't see defeat. We see a lesson learned. Straight up. Look, I came into this world in 1978. The doc looked me in my face and knew I was something great. 45, 42 Prescott, that's where I'm from. Grew up in the slums around dope dealers and bums. As humble as I was, I adapted to my habitat. In my own lane though, far from where they crashing at. Dumb bar graduate, the game I'd have mastered it. Served in the Navy, look, y'all don't know the half of it. Pops passed in '01, moms passed last year. I know they up in heaven smiling down, crying mad tears, cause they son making it. No telling where I'm taking it. My city been cursed, but I feel that I'm breaking it. Coached at Wayne High in 15 in one state. Seen the fork in the road and went straight. I know what I'm worth, I'm OG King Kirk. Brooklyn Nets gaming crew legend, let's work.
Hey, this is OG King Kirk, your host of the OG2CENTS podcast. I want to thank each and every one of you who continue to tune in each and every week. Although I took a long break due to the season, but we're back. And I just want to thankful for everybody that tunes in to the podcast. Make sure that you go to all major streaming platforms and subscribe to the podcast. Give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts. That helps us out a lot. You can also catch the podcast on Apple, on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio. Like I said, just every major streaming platform. Check it out. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. Give us a like. Share it. We definitely appreciate it. This episode is brought to you by Zenny Blocks. Make sure to armor your eyes with Zenny Blocks virtually clear blue blockers. It's important to protect your eyes from the harmful blue light from your digital screens, so you'll have less eye strain, and that makes for better sleep and performance. Check them out at zenny.com/gaming. or follow them at Zenny Gaming on Twitter and Instagram. This episode 84, Life After 2K League with Deedz. Deedz, better known Demar Butler, a.k.a. Deedz, is a former professional NBA 2K League player from Spotsylvania, Virginia. In the 2K League's first ever season back in 2018, he was taken with the 37 pick overall by Jazz Gaming. He would play in Utah for 2 seasons before going unretained, headed into the 2020 draft. With back-to-back selections in the 3rd round, Heat Check Gaming would use one of those picks for Deedz, ultimately making Miami his new home for 2 more seasons. Deedz is now officially retired from the NBA 2K League, but he'll always be remembered for being one of the OGs of the community. His proudness and flexibility on the court is a testament to the hard work he put in, and clearly explains how he carved out a 4-year career. One of the proudest moments was when he received a medal from the Navy of 4 years of service. He's an avid fan of the Boston Celtics and Baltimore Ravens. This guy has been in the community from day one, going all the way back before it was even Pro-Am. Somebody that I became fond of, and just a real big fan of. I actually left the league and, is back home taking care of his boys and his family and his wife, man. But just excited to have him on the show. So without further ado, Deedz, how you doing today?
Doing good, doing real good. Getting back acclimated to the normal life.
The normal life. Had a good career. You called it quits earlier this year. Talk about what went into that decision, and let us into your life as much as possible about what you've been doing since you've been away from the sticks.
What led into the decision was kind of just like, just seeing the writing on the wall. I was grinding the game like every night, even in the morning, getting up at like 6 in the morning, all that stuff. And then like I'm just seeing like I'm seeing like, you know, the community doing like little lists and stuff. They got me at power forward. I'm like, I ain't played power forward all year. Like I've been on a lot, you know what I'm saying? And it's interesting because I had talked to Shots about it. I'm like, man, I might just hang it up, bro. Like he's like, nah, just fight through it. Just fight through it. You at the end, blase, blase. So what really did it for me was when we got to Vegas, right? We got to Vegas. I think I had like a little good performance in Vegas. We ain't go too far. We played no tolerance in the first round or whatever. But after that, I can't remember what gym it was, but they was like, "You still going for the league?" And when they said, I was like, "Man, I've been grinding this game all year since it dropped, and you asked me if I'm going for the league. That's crazy." So like to me, so like right after that, I hit up Famous. I was like, "Hey, Famous man, what's the word, man? Like, is there any buzz?" He was like, "Man, ain't nobody really talking about you, bro." And I was like, "Yeah, I kind of figured that." So when I didn't get drafted, you know, it like I already seen it coming. You know what I mean? But what got me was somebody said this. I don't want to say their name. They was like, if you was younger and newer to the community and grinded the same way you did, you probably would have went first round, but you definitely would have got drafted. And I was just like, I was just sitting there stunned. I'm like, wow, like, so that's, I mean, hey, then it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, I'll hang it up.
Now, you know, like what have you been doing since then?
Just, you know, just I took on an interest into like investing and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So like I really been like looking into that, studying that, like financial literacy and all that other stuff. But you know, just the normal joint, you know, I had talked to Compete and he put me onto the Uber joint. He was like, man, look, he was like, don't worry about what nobody say, man. It's good money in it. So I tried, I was like, damn, like it really is good money in this joint. You know what I'm saying? Like I can take care of everything doing this and still be able to come home early, you know, spend time with my kids and my family and stuff. Like, so that's what I've been doing, to be honest with you.
No, that's what's up. I mean, and you know, letting people know that. I mean, because a lot of people like, you know, we fear what we don't know sometimes. And
Yeah.
even though we still fear what we do know half the time, but I'm glad you said that because like personally, I don't know. Like I mean, obviously I'm in New York. I see tons of people doing it daily. So it's like if it wasn't nothing in it, like people wouldn't be doing it. So
Right.
so nah, it makes perfect sense. It's interesting, and I guess since you mentioned it, I plan on getting to it later. But since you know you mentioned about what was said, give me your thoughts, man. Because like you know, you one of the few guys who carry the OG name just like I do, and it actually means something because you from back in first generation is what I call it,
Yeah.
and I want you to speak on just you know the community then and the community now.
Man, when you talk about a tale of two tapes, man, like this is a whole different world. Like, you know, the community back then, man, it was like people gave respect off of what you have done. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they and the thing was, back then the leaderboards meant something. You know what I'm saying? So if you was on the leaderboards, couldn't nobody talk really crazy to you. You know what I'm saying? Again, be like, oh, well, you did this back then, and you did like, no, if you was number one on leaderboards, you're the number one team on the game, and can't nobody dispute that. You get what I'm saying? So, you know, now that you know all it is just leagues and stuff, it's kind of like people don't even take the game serious. All people want to do is play playoffs, tournaments, and stuff like that. You get what I'm saying? So back then, you're playing the game every night, playing against the top teams, right? And you getting your credentials up, you know, you getting your rep up. Now, for example, I could just go play with, I don't know who's top right now. I guess I could go play with Spam and them, right? We're not going to take regular season serious, but playoffs, we're going to win everything. Now I got a big name and I haven't really done it. You get what I'm saying?
No,
But you couldn't get away with that back in the day because you're playing against the top teams every night and everybody knows who's good. You get what I'm saying? So for me, man, I don't know. I think it's just a respect thing, man. Like I respect all the OGs, man. Like for me, like when I see people just talk crazy about JT, it's like for example, JT, I'm like, damn, so like y'all didn't see this man, like, you know what I mean? Like JT now is not the JT that I played against. You get what I'm saying? The whole landscape has changed, but it's like people don't care about that no more. Like it's like your slate got wiped clean. You get what I mean? So I mean the young dude's taking over now, and I mean that's just what it is. And like I feel like that's what happened to me. I feel like I got mellowed. Like after I heard if you was younger, you would. I'm like, so you telling me I could still play at a high level, but because of my age, I can't get drafted. That's crazy to me. So
Yeah, it's funny to hear that, because even if you I like, of course, everything has its own truth depending on whose mouth it's coming out of, and
right.
who's listening. When I think about it and I hear it, it's like, if you look at every team that's successful this season, this season, because this season is a lot different. I said this is one of the first seasons where rookies really is like rookies. Like they didn't come up in there was nowhere around in 2015, 16, 17, 18. Like these are like really like rookies. Like if we put it in that. Not saying that some of them are not successful or anything like that, but we truly have rookies now. But if you look at the success of each and every team, it's a veteran on the roster. Like
I think it's veterans. Like when I'm looking at the roster, like you look at the top teams, you got the Wolves, you got the Warriors, you got the Wizards, you got who else is up there other than Genji? Who on Genji team?
You got Feast.
They got some.
You got. I mean, you got.
That's a vet.
Right.
That's a vet right there. Yeah, but I see your point though. I see, because like we all knew that at some point it was going to get to where the league was hard to get in, but at the same time, we're getting to the point where it's like rookies are really rookies. You get what I'm saying? Like vets, you could call 630 a rookie, but he was playing in the what year was that? The 17-250K. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, is he really a rookie? You get what I mean?
Nah. He actually goes in. He goes into that arena. What I'm saying, he's almost like second generation, kind of borderline first generation. Like, yeah. I mean, but he's still in that tier where he played against, all the top players in that first generation tier. So like he's not what I would call your traditional rookie. I mean, and like I said, it's not like some of the rookies, even from last year, and this year, not like they're lacking success or anything like that. The majority of them are struggling here and there. You got a very short few. Like, you look at Gallo, that's playing really well, but he's had some struggle moments too. And that's a rookie backcourt when you talk about him and DJ.
Right.
But outside of that, I mean, I think, JT had mentioned, I actually had him on the episode before this one, and I think he said it on the broadcast too. Like he felt like, hands down at the moment, Gallo is probably rookie of the year. I mean, because of the way he has performed. I mean, if you really look at the other rookies that are in winning situations, they're not primarily the catalyst.
Right.
So why, to the team success. So I think it's slim. I think the veterans are still needed and necessary. Obviously, situation and fit, it matters. Like, I mean, of course, I hear a lot of different takes from vets, in the younger players. I mean, it's a lot of clash here and there, which is I feel like in the nature of it all, it shouldn't be. I mean, I think from a competition standpoint, you know how that goes, but you need some vets, like from the mentality, from the day to day. I even had some of the rookies that I've had is like, getting acclimated to the pro lifestyle is far different than what they thought coming in. I mean,
right.
And it affects everybody different. I mean, and a matter of fact, while I'm talking about that, I want you to, for a lot of people know who you are, but just a quick tidbit, like walk us through your career and like what it was like when you made it to the league and how everything was probably different than what you thought it was going to be.
All right. Well, first off, the first draft, it was once you got the letter that you was in, everybody knew they was getting drafted. So in a sense, we didn't really get the same excitement as the rest of the draft classes. You know what I'm saying? Like we didn't have to go through the whole draft process in a sense. You know what I'm saying? So for me, in season one, I was trying to be strategic. Like I'm like, all right, I made it in as a power forward. So I'm trying to get with one of the top point guards. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I look. I'm like, I'm trying to go to Dime, Spab, compete, Hood back in, I'm pretty sure the new dudes don't even know who Hood is. Like that's how.
Hey, and you know what, I want to say this. I actually talked to him recently. I'm one of the few guys who probably still keep in touch with a lot of different guys that's been in the community, been in the league, because I felt like a lot of you guys are responsible for me being where I'm at. Like, I mean,
Right.
and it was what I like to call a 50-50 partnership, and us having the league and y'all playing in the league helped us all. So, I mean, I reached out to him. He's a father now, so I just was checking on him and the kid, and like he was like, "OG, I really appreciate it, man." He said a lot of people don't really, talk to me or hit me up or anything like that. He was like, "But I appreciate it." I'm like, man, when I think about players, because most of the players have my number, from back in the day. If I think about them, I at least shoot them a text. But go ahead and continue, D.
Well, to sidebar on that, I try to keep in touch with a lot of people too, like whether texting them or anything. You know what I'm saying? Because like for me, the relationships that I gained in the league, like that's second to none. You know what I'm saying? Like I could go and you could come in, you could be gone the next year. You know what I'm saying? But the people that you really build friendships, brotherhoods with, like you're gonna have that for a lifetime. You know what I'm saying? So I try to keep in touch with, at least the people that I consider, real life friends. Even if I see like a little situation of somebody tweeting some dumb stuff that I know the league is not gonna appreciate, I'm like, yo, like, come on, dog, delete that. You know what I'm saying? Like, delete that, let that go. You know what I mean? So I'm glad Hood doing good, man. I haven't talked to him in a while, like, to be honest. But he comes from that generation I came from. You know what I'm saying? And the thing for me is like, why I took the OG standpoint is that when I got drafted, I was 28. A lot of these dudes, I was playing against Fab when he was like 14, 15.
Right.
Like when you think about that, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I was like, yo, like I'm really the OG of this community. But on the same note that you just said though, I appreciate what you and LT did for us too, because NPBA was 15 or 16.
15.
That was 15. Like,
yeah,
that's when the rec was really jumping, man. Like, and I swear, if the league started back then, hey, this league would look completely different. But that's a conversation for another day.
I know. I'm you know what? That I promise you this. I'm gonna have an episode where I get like you, JT, Hot Shot, Ramo, like get as many people as I can get on there and just chop it up. Like, I mean, because literally some people will never know the games popping off and you got 200-300 people standing around the court watching the game
while it's lagging. While you playing in the game, it's lagging.
Right. Or if you take it a step further with the 3, 2, 1, go. Hey,
for me, I ain't gonna lie, Kurt. For me, that was the best era, man, because you never knew who you was gonna play. You never knew who you was gonna play. You couldn't duck people. You couldn't just coast through the regular season. You never knew who you was gonna play. That era, like, it'll never get back to that because the whole private matchmaking thing. But like, man, I look back on that day, I'm like, man, that's when 2K was at its funnest, man. Like, because you never knew who you was gonna play. Like, and then once they did the tier joint, I think that was on 17, where they did the tiers where you was like, if you got the tier 6, you was only playing tier 6. Like, that was the life to me, man. That was the life to me. But what was the question you originally asked though? We don't drifted off, man. We going down memory lane.
No, I just was basically asking you, like, just walk us through your career, like, from what you thought the league was going to be like to what it actually was when you got in. You already mentioned the key points where it was the 102, so you didn't have to go through the interview process the same. You didn't prepare the same for the draft. You was basically saying you was trying to be strategic about it. That was the last thing you left off.
Oh, yeah. So I was trying to be strategic about it. I was trying to fall to one of the best point guards at the time that that I felt like we could click, and because no matter what people think, back then I was considered one of the best players in the world. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, so I look at it from a different standpoint. So I was trying to get matched up with somebody. Like I said, Dimes, Fab, Pete, and Famous. I had an interview with Famous, and he was like, "Look, if you're there in the second round, we taking you 100%." But Majestic was falling, so I'm like, and people that did, like, it's crazy how the years have changed. So people would disrespect Majestic now, but back then Majestic was one of the best players in the
Oh,
world.
he was that guy. Like,
You get what I'm saying? So when I seen him falling, I'm like, hey, if he's there, because you couldn't draft point guard, whatever, you had to draft by the position. I'm like, if Majestic is there, and hold on, before I drift on that, Majestic messed up the draft pool. Him, Kenny, and Tomley messed up the draft pool because they was not point guards. They were supposed to be small forwards and shooting guards, but whatever. So when I see Majestic fall, I'm like, Famous is not gonna pass him up. Like, he gotta take, because this is with the snake draft, right? So it's coming back. I'm like, they're gonna take Majestic. They have to take Majestic. And sure enough, they took Majestic, right? So boom, third round, come back around. People might not notice, the only reason I went to Utah was because of JT. JT told Compete to take me because Compete ain't know who to take or whatever. So he told Compete to take me, which I thought they should have took shots, but it is what it is. So yeah, so boom, that's how that draft went. And then when we got to Utah or whatever, it was surreal for me because outside of being in the military, I never been like really to no other state like more than a couple of days. You know what I'm saying? I've been to Florida before, got family in Boston, Alabama, and stuff like that. But going to Utah and just seeing mountains and stuff like that, I'm like, man, what in the world? So, that was a great experience, man. I got to, experience that. And it was just different. Being inside of a NBA organization, going inside the arena every day, seeing how they operate, man, that was different. I think people take that a little for granted, like, because it's really not what you think, man. Like you be in them buildings, you be like, wow, like we really in the NBA. Like that's the thing. That's another thing that the young kids don't realize. You're really in the NBA. You get paid by the NBA. Like, so try to develop some relationships in the NBA. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, that season 1, man, I learned a lot, man. I learned a lot. I learned how to be a little more patient. And there's one thing I want to get that out there too. There's one thing that I do regret from season 1 was we was 5-2, right? And we went on a losing streak after the patch. And you remember 2K18 was the 5-out era. And, Compete was one of the best at doing it. I was doing it, or whatever. So, but Slaughter was having a good year at the 5. And we went down to Miami for a boot camp or whatever, and they smoked us. We probably played like 22 games, and we won 1. The only time we won was when we went 4 or 5 out. And what happened? We didn't run the lineup though. We didn't run it because like me personally, I kind of felt like Slaughter didn't really want to come off his business. But I wish I would have kept that to myself because I can't remember who asked me. They was like, why y'all never ran 5 out? Y'all had Compete, you ran it, blase, blase. And without even thinking, I was just like, Slaughter having a good year, so he don't want to come off it, little ego trip. Didn't even think about it. It just, I didn't think it would carry as much as it did. Because you know how this community works, man. You say one thing, it's faster than the internet. So Slaughter going undrafted, I felt responsible for that. And I didn't intend for that to happen. You know what I'm saying? So like, I apologize to him today. Like, I'm glad he got back and whatever, but I definitely want to get that out there. Like, I felt bad for that. You know what I'm saying? And we still cool, whatever. But he has said some stuff that he'll reference like, that's why I was unbelieving him. You know what I mean? But I just want to get that out there, man. Apologize to that man. But so yeah, I took that experience and learned in the next 3 years. Because there was other situations that came up like that. And I was like, I keep my mouth shut, or try to talk to a person on the low, stuff like that. And that's the stuff where the vets in the league, they probably, help them with the young dudes. You know what I'm saying? Because we've experienced different situations. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's getting into it with a teammate or maybe a GM or a coach or whatever, you know what I'm saying? You take those experiences, you learn from them, you know what I mean? And you try to let people know about it. But season 1, I think that was just a failure, man. Like we started off 5-2, patch came, we never won a game since. Season 2, we started off hot again, we was 4-2. Little situation happened at the turn that we finished semis and situation happened. Team never bounced back. We ended up missing playoffs that year again. And it kind of obliterated the whole team, to be honest with you. The comp was like, hey, we not going down this route no more. I'm picking the people I want to pick. And then we ride, you know what I'm saying? We getting Deedz up out there, we get all y'all up out there. Compete real. We did, yeah. But hey, and it worked out for him. You know what I'm saying? And then season 3 and season 4, people don't know, but after season 2, me and my wife, we had lost a baby. So kind of goes into what I'm about to say. Like, people don't understand, like, there's lives outside of 2K. You got people telling me, oh, you're not dedicated to the game no more. Why you not? I'm like, dude, I just lost a whole baby. Like, I can't even focus on this thing. You know what I'm saying?
No, without a doubt.
Yeah, so for me, I felt like that's why I, fell into the 6-man role. Like, I don't know what round Miami took me. I think it was a 3rd or whatever, but yeah, like, I just couldn't lock into the game like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm dealing with my stuff mentally, and I got a whole wife dealing with her stuff mentally too. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it is what it is. And then season 4, I think that's really when I had put all my vet stuff in the works. It just, it was just a little too late, because I think we started off like 0-7 or something like that. And then we bounced back, but I think it was just a little too late. But yeah, like, I've had an interesting career, man. Like, I've had a lot of different situations. That's why I tell people, like, hey, if you got any issue, come talk to me, because 9 times out of 10, I've been through it, and I can tell you how to, navigate through it or whatever. But yeah, I like the way. I mean, I wish I could have, at least made the playoffs, but it is what it is. Not everybody gonna do it anyway. So
yeah, I think and one of you mentioned a lot of great things. The one thing I think veterans can help the younger players most is how to lose. Like to know. I think that's the biggest thing in the 2K league for players that they all need to understand. I don't care if it's a first year, second year, third year. You have to know how to lose. Like,
one loss can ruin a team.
Most players do not. And I've said this, and I'm putting this on record now. I've been saying this. I've been saying this privately, and I'm gonna make sure this probably gets clipped. But you would think, by the mindsets and attitudes of the players in the 2K league as a collective, that you would have 10 fucking gold medalists, 9 NCAA champions. You know what I'm saying? Like, you would really think like it's a decorated, community, like of astute student athletes, professional athletes, like, because that nobody acts like they know how to lose. Like, everybody acts like they have been winning their entire life. Like, and it's amazing to me. Like, I sometimes I just sit back and look like, and sometimes, man, we talking about practice. Like, we ain't even talking about the game. We talking about losing in practice. And I mean, Cass was like one in the chamber, ready to let it go. Like, and I'm like, what we doing? Like, practice.
Hey, Kurt, you are not lying, bro.
Hey, I swear to you, like,
he was not lying, man.
And I felt like, in part, the reason why I felt like this was the perfect time, because, like, talking to a mature player in person like yourself, like, what I'm talking about, like, and it makes no sense, like, at all. I mean, I spent more time probably being Dr. Phil than anything else. Like, I mean, and I don't regret none of it. Like, let's not get it twisted. I don't regret any of it. I love everything that this career endures. Like, I'm not, I ain't ran from nothing. I done dealt with the most. Like, I mean, the most of the most. I'm leading the league in stats that I don't even want to lead the league. So, it's just funny sometimes. And I like I said, I think that's where those veteran players come in. I mean, just to throw a quick tidbit in here for like, Steve's is like a consummate pro. Like, and
he's
helps
seen it all.
Yeah, he helps the younger guys. He know how to talk to people. Like, he know how to get his message across to any and everybody. Like, and you need those type of people. Now, obviously, they got to be able to play and produce.
Right.
But you still need those type of people to be a good organization and a competitive organization. And I'm sure it's other players on other teams that provide that same type of stability that you need. You mentioned real quick about the military. A lot of people may not know about your military background, but just Tell us what branch you served in. You know, what was your rate? What did you do, and where out where out did you see?
All right. Well, my military experience is crazy, but just even from the start to after doing the MEPS joint. So when I joined, it was 2009, I think it was when I signed up. I think it was 2009, and that's when like it seemed like everybody was trying to get in the military back then. I think it was like over. I think it was. I want to say it was overpopulated. To be honest with you. So after I passed the ASVAB, my recruiter was like, you go home or whatever, and they call you back with jobs that's available, blah, blah, blah. No, matter of fact, no, they don't. So after I took the ASVAB or whatever, yeah, I went to MEPS. You do go home. So I went to MEPS, boom, did all the physical and everything. So they come back, they're like, yeah, we don't have a job available. I'm like, huh? I'm like, what do you mean you don't got a job available? They was like, yeah, we don't got no jobs available. I'm like, okay. So my recruiter told me, he was like, look, do you want to retake the ASVAB, or do you just want to sit and wait for a job? So I don't know if they did it when you was in. If you failed the ASVAB, your previous score didn't count. You would have to do it again. That's how it was with you?
No, it wasn't like that.
Oh, well, I guess, okay. So now, say you get a 50, right? And you want to retake the ASVAB, and you get a non-passing score. They don't take the 50 no more. They take your, what's the name, and you got to redo the test. So that's why I asked him, I was like, so if I fail it, do I got to redo it? He was like, yeah. I'm like, well, then forget it. I'll sit and wait. Kurt, when I said I waited a whole year for them to call me back, I took that ASVAB, I think, in January of 2009. He didn't call me back until December 2009. He was like, hey, something popped up. Do you want to take it? I'm like, what is it? He was like, Cook. I was like, that's it? There ain't nothing else? He's like, hey, this is the first thing that popped up. You either take it or you gotta wait longer. I was like, forget it. Hey, because I wasn't doing nothing. I was I think I was cleaning I think I was a janitor at an elementary school at my mom's job. So I was like, hey man, I'll take it. I'm out of here. So he was like, hey, well, you leaving in 2 weeks. I was like, damn, all right. So I ended up leaving in January, and boom, rest is history or whatever. But yeah, so I was a CS, and I was in the Navy for 4 years. To be honest, if I would have had my first crew the whole time, I would have never even did the 2K League. I would have stayed in the military. And people don't understand that, like, the people you work with, it's big. And I use that in the 2K League. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, trying to learn how to talk to people and stuff like that. If nobody wants to be around you, how you gonna, what kind of teammate are you? You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
yeah, so my first crew, it was lit. We having all types of fun. I was like, man, I'm staying here 20 years. And then I got to experience the real Navy. I got a chief. I got a chief that she just made chief. So, she coming in trying to impose her dominance. Yeah, she trying to impose her dominance. I'm like, oh my God. And back then, I ain't gonna lie, Kurt, I was a loose cannon. I was off the chain. So I wasn't trying to hit. I was like 20 back then. So I wasn't trying to hit nothing she had to say. So had to suffer those consequences. Then she left, and I didn't think it could get worse. I got somebody that literally did everything by the book. And to be in the military, to have somebody like that, man, that your stress level go through the roof. your stress level was at an all-time high. So I was like, man, I'm done. I'm not doing this joint no more. You know what I mean? So boom, did that. Once my 4 years was up, got out, worked at a Marine Mart. Then I got a job at corrections. And then that's when the 2K League got announced. 2K League got announced in, what was that, 2017? I think it was 2017.
It was 6. I think it was 16 they announced it. Then 18 was the inaugural season.
Yeah, so boom, went from corrections into the 2K League, and here now.
Well, before we get to OG wants to know, I just want to ask you, like, have you been how much of season 5 have you been watching?
I've been watching it sparingly, and I wish they would. Like, I wanted to hit up BD about it, man. Like, to see if they could start this, like, somehow start the season like after the finals, like, because really, once basketball ends, there's nothing. Like, people don't. I mean, I ain't gonna disrespect baseball, but that's the only thing that's on for real. And I was like, damn, like, because I was missing games because my team was in the finals, and my team, I'm a Celtics fan, so I'm watching them, and I'm like, I can't watch both. You know what I mean? Like, especially when we look at the road we went through. We went to 2 game sevens, and then in the
Yeah.
finals. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not really catching the games, to be honest with you. But yeah, I was gonna hit a BD and be like, look, man, is there any way you can start the season like right after the finals or something, and then like, you know, that little window of when 2K drop, you know, maybe like just compact that joint or something. I don't know, but for me, I think that would be the best thing because it's nothing really to watch until football. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I've been watching a little bit though. I've been watching a little bit, supporting my guys. You know what I mean? Been seeing what y'all been, and you know, I gotta look at the teams that ain't drafting. You know, y'all the only ones that's doing good. So, you know.
Hey, let me quick question for you. You know, who you got winning it? In 3v3 and 5v5 in each division, who you got winning?
3v3, I'm not gonna lie, I have no clue. I have no clue. I don't know who's good over there, to be honest with you. I seen Dayfry won at point guard, so I'm like, okay. I thought this was for the park guys. Like, I really thought this was for the park guys. I thought, you know, people like Killy and who was Splash. I thought this was y'all era. You know, like this is y'all lane. But and they got Dayfry winning the thing. So I don't know. But 5v5, it's hard to go against the Wolves, man. It's hard. And it's just because of the continuity of that team. Like, anybody that knows, TV, Slaughter, and Kai was winning everything pre-draft. They literally winning everything. You know what I mean? So it's like, and then they won the tip-off. So granted, they lost the semis of the term, but it's like you could tell that team can make deep runs. You know what I mean? So pre-season, I had the Wolves or the Warriors. Wolves, Warriors, or Jazz coming out that side, but now I kind of dwindled down to just the Warriors or the Wolves out the West. And then, you know, the East, it's hard to go against Dayfry, I know. And Philly, I had Philly, the Wizards, and who else was it? I don't know. But now it's kind of looking like Philly though. I think Philly, them winning that turn, I think they're gonna get some momentum off of that. And then, you know, the whole debacle of that trade, you know, now Yusuf got a chip on the shoulder. So, you know, that might be, you know, some inspiration right there. So I don't know.
No, without a doubt. Real quick, before we get out of here, at this point in the show is OG wants to know, answer these questions, you know, open, honestly, and as quick as possible.
Okay.
Biggest influence?
Right now it'd be my mother.
What motivates you?
My kids.
Okay. Best part of being a dad?
Man, what's not the best part? Like, best part of being a dad is not being in 2K league because I could be home and, you know, be with my boys.
Got you. Best advice you ever received?
Just damn, I had it too. Just do your best at everything you do and live with the outcome, so there's no regrets.
Most memorable 2K league moment?
Coming back on the T-Wolves in season 2 at the turn, down 17.
Okay. Favorite video game of all time?
SOCOM Combined Assault. It was on PS2.
Okay. Favorite teammate you ever played with?
Compete.
Okay. Favorite 2K of all time?
17.
Favorite NBA player of all time?
Vince Carter.
Okay. And favorite 2K league coach you played for?
Ooh! Oh well, shoot, I only got 1 year with comp, so I go with Famous.
Okay, man. If you got any last words you want to leave us with, man, I would just want to say thank you for coming on. Appreciate your time. Really enjoyed it. We gonna do it again. So you know, just know that. But you know, just you can leave everybody, let them know your socials, if anything, if you want to get some more followers, or I can see you being around doing something maybe later or whatever within the 2K league or within the community. But any last words you got?
Any last words, man? This is for the people in the league right now. Invest your money wisely. Save your money. Don't go out buying shoes and Uber Eats and all that other. Get some groceries. You'll come out cheaper. Invest your money, man. I'm telling you, like, because once you out here back in the real world, you know, you're gonna be like, damn, I wish I would have did this. You know, don't leave the league with no regrets. Use it as a stepping stone, invest your money wisely, and you know, make life easier for you after 2K. Like everybody think they're gonna be in 2K forever. It's not gonna be forever. So set yourself up. But yeah, that's all I gotta say for you.
Nah, I appreciate you, Deedz. Take it easy, man. Tell the boys OG said what's up. And like I said, we're gonna have to do this again.
Oh yeah, for sure. Hey, for sure. Hey, and I'm gonna hit up Famous to him, be like, hey, we need to do like a Heat roundtable because Bear Slaughter TV called me and was like, hey, what was worse, season 1 or season 3? So we was having a debate on that shit.
Well, bet, man. I'm gonna have to get with him. We have to link up and do it. But I'll talk with you.
Oh yeah, no problem, man.
All right.
Thanks for having me, bro.
No doubt. And I want to thank each and every one of you who listened to this episode or watched it on YouTube. Very thankful for that. Also, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. Also, go subscribe on all major streaming platforms. Make sure you follow the OG2CENTS podcast on social media at OG2CENTS podcast on Twitter and IG and Facebook. Also follow me, OG King Kurt, on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. You can go to www.ogkingkurt.com for everything with OG King Kurt and the podcast. Drink Control. Make sure you lock in with that. Drink Control contains all you could ask for from a powdered meal replacement shake. Not only the stuff that you've heard of, like proteins, healthy carbohydrates, fiber, and healthy fats, but even the things you might not normally pay attention to. Over 5 grams of naturally occurring BCAAs, 22 plus vitamins and minerals, prebiotic fiber to promote healthy gut bacteria, MCTs to support appetite control and satiation, and finally, digestive enzymes to support healthy digestion. But the most important thing is the taste. It tastes like the bottom of a cereal bowl. So go to drinkcontrol.com and use the code OG King Kurt for discounts on their products. They now have not only meal replacement shakes, but they have meal to go bars, and they taste very good. They have chocolate chip cookie dough and Magic Charm. So make sure you check it out. And that's drinkcontrol.com and use the code OG King Kurt for discounts on their products. Shout out to my team, Strider Visuals, Box Graphics, and Matrix for help making the podcast what it is today. Definitely couldn't do it without those guys. Make sure you check me out on Esports Extra every Saturday and Sunday, and BNC Go. That's 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Saturday and Sunday, and that's with host Larry Ridley, the crew, Coach K, producer extraordinaire, Durbin Roel, Andrea Richmond, a.k.a. Bordy McBoards, Brandon Bell, Jay Alford, and Antonio Williams. Like I said, Esports Extra every Saturday and Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on BNC Go. And follow Esports Extra on Twitter at Esports Extra and on IG as well. You can go to skulls.com/OG King Kurt and pick up your OG King Kurt and the OG2CENTS podcast apparel. That's t-shirts, hoodies, coffee mugs, anything you almost want is there. Phone covers, everything, you name it. So just make sure you stop by skulls.com. That's skulls, SKULLZ.com/OG King Kurt. Make sure you tune in to next week's episode. And remember, if it makes sense, it's an OG2CENTS. OG out.
Put this work in, fellas. And much love to the entire 2K community for always showing me love. Without y'all, we wouldn't be here. Yeah.